All right, every year they call on one of us old guys to come in and get these young people sworn in. And I appreciate the special privilege of being able to do that. If I can read this, Jane put it kind of small, so we'll see. But this is an important part of our organization, is bringing, like Boise says, is bringing in new people to lead this organization. And some of us old guys can kind of move out the way and let these young guys show us what they can do. There's several of us that were founding members that are here today, and we appreciate all your efforts. Otis Logue, of course, was the dream behind this thing, this organization, and of course he passed away, as several of the charter members, and there's only a few of us left. Okay, Mr. President, officers, directors, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure as a founding member of SCIA to serve as your installing officer tonight. Would the 2017-2018 SCIA directors and officers please stand for your installation? We have directors Stuart Forche with Express Supply and Steel, Mitch Marmon, Delta Coast Consultants, Robbie Knockhand, Capital One Bank, Wynn Radford, BP, Bill Blanchard, Gulf Island, and officers, we have Secretary Jared Toops with Oil States, Treasurer Charles Theriot CPAs, Vice President Chet Chesson, Greater Lafourche Port Commission, Executive Vice President Paul Danos with Danos, officers and directors. South Central Industrial Association is a leading regional organization in Louisiana representing the oil, gas, and marine industries. It has always been the goals of the founding members to foster the ideals of true leadership and to service the needs of the industrial community. Will you accept the duties of your respective office and pledge to uphold the bylaws of the South Central Industrial Association? Say, I do.
I do.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, your new 2017-2018 SCIA officers and directors. All right. From the hand. Thank y'all. I know y'all going to do a great job. All right, Corey Kief, we need you. Corey, your fellow members have elected you to lead the association for the coming year. We are honored that you have accepted to serve as president of this organization. Your role as president is a monumental task. Do you pledge your commitment to the presidency of this association?
I do.
You do? All right. Congratulations,
Thank you,
Corey. All right. Congratulations, Corey. Ladies and gentlemen, your new president of South Central Industrial Association. All right. Now you get to talk, man.
Appreciate it, man. Good to be here for 20 years, man.
If you need any help, let me know.
We'll give you the official gavel, man. You get to use it like you want. Thank you. Good luck, man. Appreciate you. You're good service. Thanks for being here. Same here. Thank you. Oh, man, you know, when somebody gives you a gavel in a Ziploc bag, it might have been evidence in court or something. Especially considering some of these guys I know that was here before us. You know. Y'all know who y'all are? Well, Lori, you know, look, Lori asked me to serve on this board, and I could tell a little story about how this all got started. And Jane, I know you asked me not to say too much, but my mom is here, my dad is here, my wife is here. Welcome to the people that I don't listen to. So I'm not going to say too much because I know everybody wants to go do something else, and I don't want to be all consuming too much time. And Lori and I were involved in testimony in Washington, D.C., and they sent some staff down from D.C. to interview us. And we were sitting at a bank in Raceland in a conference room. And the staff had told us, look, we're going to tape record y'all, and everything y'all say is going to be played before some committee, word for word. So Lori went first, and I went second. Well, naturally, my comments were a whole lot more harsh than hers were. And next thing I know, I got audited by the IRS, Lori. I hope you know that. And Z, God came and kissed me all right, and he came back a year later when you was born. And he told me he was looking for you. And he came back and he said, I couldn't find him. I said, because he's not that big. You gotta look hard to find him. That's what happened. I hope he found you.
I'm blessed.
And boys, I thank you for them kind words. We're a long way since Uncle George's house for Hurricane Betsy. You know, remember those days? Whew. I thought it was fun to be in a hurricane. You know? But look, Jane gave me some marching orders that I gotta follow, and if I do that, don't do that, she's gonna be on me for now until the end of time, so I better do what she tells me to do. You know, it's an honor to represent the Crosby companies, Crosby Enterprises, Crosby Tugs, Crosby Dredging, Batusi. We've grown in so many ways, and this association has been here to help us get a lot of these things done. Working with this board, working with the people ahead of me, even Ted Fogel, wherever he is. You know, I can't believe they just let him roam all over the place these days, and he's retired, but he helped me to get here. The board that we have, Bill in particular, and look, let's take this into consideration, folks. And you know, Kirk Metch was just one of our speakers here not long ago, and Carrie Chauvin just came up here a few minutes ago, and we're talking about 20 years. And for Bill to be here doing some of the things that he's done and being patient with people like me and trying to pull me along, because, you know, I'll still use foul language and I'll still sing along with the radio and all kind of stuff like that. And Bill has to calm it down every now and then. But Bill has worked wonders with us, and he's one of the reasons why I chose to stay here is because of his leadership and his guidance. And Bill, I thoroughly appreciate that. I thank you for that. But more than that, I'd like to shout out to Gulf Island Fabricators because of Carrie being there. And actually, Bobby Bartell is kind of adopted into that, but he was one of them too. Kirk Mesh, Bill, and I think that on his own, we'd owe a little round of applause for Gulf Island Fab. How about that, huh? And the Blanchard family over here today, y'all don't know the jewel y'all have here. He's a gem. I promise you, every day of your life, be happy that you have your father and your mother. He's a very good jewel, and y'all should appreciate that. I hope y'all do. Because I would if he was my daddy. You want to adopt him? You can adopt me, Bill. All right. Because of all this stuff, Bill, I think that we're going to offer you this little plaque for our consideration and appreciation for putting up with me, I think, for 5 years, and for helping us to get to where we are as an association. You've done a world of wonders for the South Central Industrial Association. I'm happy that you're going to be with me for another year because I'm going to need somebody to keep me on the line. You know how that is.
No problem.
Bill, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'll be here.
All right, fix this thing before. I got some of these at my house, you know. We do sing along with the music and karaoke. Even Mitch comes play music at my house. So we have a little band going within the association over here, you know. And we play, you know, for about $20,000, $30,000 a weekend. If y'all want us, Mitch, we can actually join the association. But I'm going to announce the committee members for the upcoming year, and the chairs of those committees. For the banquet committee, we have Stephanie Hebert with Stephanie Hebert Insurance Agency. Stephanie, where are you? Stephanie? I can't see you with all these feathers, Stephanie. I don't know what you're going to do next year, We're gonna have to bring some palm trees, and next year is gonna be short pants and loud Hawaiian shirts. We're gonna have a different thing. Golf committee, Lance Trotter, where are you? Is Lance here? Once again, too many feathers. It's like being at a goose hunt in Alexandria over here. Anyway, Lance is with Paul's agency. Thank you, Lance. The golf tournament's always a huge success, and we're depending on you for that in the future. Industrial Committee on Education, Ice Willard. Where are you, Willard? I saw you here earlier tonight. Willard and I go back from the AMSA days years ago, and matter of fact, I think he had more hair and I had less belly in those days. Ports, Infrastructure, and Coastal, the PIC Committee. Simone Malose with Restore a Retreat, and Henri Boulay with LA1. Henri and Simone are dear to my heart because of Restore a Retreat being formed so long ago. LA1, you know, when they named a bridge after your uncle and who's formed a task force that actually led to this coalition, you got to know where your heart is. Henri, Simone, thank you all so much. Thank you all for serving again. The Crawfish Ball. Jason Bergeron with Technology Professionals. Jason, I don't know where you are because there's so many feathers in here, I'll never find you. But if you bring all these feathers to the Crawfish Ball, just think what's going to happen then, you know? You have a lot of shade. And it's always good. Y'all have to come. If y'all don't come to the Crawfish Ball, y'all need to come to the Crawfish Ball. Workforce Development, Nicole Blanchard. Nicole has been consistent with this ever since I got here. Nicole, you're a real piece of work. We really love you. You really have done a lot for this association and have done a lot for this community. I'm so happy to see that it's you that stay and do this because it's a lot less that we got to worry about. So, Nicole, I don't know where you are. There you are. It's all these feathers, Nicole. I just can't see. We have a couple of coalitions that belong to this association, too. We have the Morganza Action Coalition. We have the LA1 Coalition. Bill mentioned all these things earlier. The Louisiana Flood Risk Coalition, which Z is the director of. We have Restore a Retreat. I'm asking everyone in here tonight, especially the youth, like the boys have said. I was a little boy one time. I don't think he and I thought we'd be sitting here years later. This is our today, but it's your future. And we need for y'all to help us build that. So please, one of these committees, get involved. Get involved with one of these, one of these coalitions. Do something, contribute, be part of what's going on. My Uncle Tommy Duce years ago taught me how to do this. I'll do this today because of him. And I do it because of y'all. But he did it because of people like y'all for society. We need y'all. Please get involved. We need to create the future leadership, as Boise mentioned before. And I'm going to finish with one thing. Last week I was in Washington, D.C., and it was a Monday night, and we having a little get-together with Secretary Zinke and Secretary Angel and Congressman Scalise and Congressman Graves. And I'm walking home after we finished, and I'm thinking, you know, how did all of this happen? How did people get into leadership, and how did especially the people from Louisiana get to where they are? And we're talking about 20 years, right? Was it 20, 21 years? And I had a very good friend that wanted to engage in government, wanted to engage in politics, and he did. And then, through a lot of his love, dedication, and courage, he moved up to becoming the House Majority Whip. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I think I'm the only president to serve this board that didn't go to college. And I'm standing with all these guys, and I'm remembering when Steve was young and he had hair, you know, and was sucking it all in, you know. And then tragedy struck. And I don't know how much courage and love and devotion that he gave to us, because he did this for us. And all of our delegates do. Richmond, Scalise, Graves, Higgins, Abraham, Johnson, Kennedy, Cassidy, they love us. They might not always agree, but they love us. And tonight, what I want y'all to do is pray that Steve Scalise has the courage to recover like he showed us how he got to leadership. And ask God to love him as much as he loves us. Thank you.